Chapter 57. I struggled against the body on top of me and tried to right myself, slammed me face first onto one of the empty beds, then lashed my wrists together with a cord that bit into my skin. They repeated the process on my ankles, and as I whipped my head to the side, I made out a shadowy outline in the dim bluish glow. I strained, trying to capture any identifying characteristics, but it was useless. Once I was incapacitated, my captor finally stepped back. Footsteps moved away from me and my heart leapt. Maybe they'd leave me here and I could roll off the table, inch myself forward and find the door, yell as loud as I could. I winced as the lights flicked on, blinding me. Blinking, I tried to clear my vision and orient myself. Where was I? I looked over at the bed next to mine and my brow came into view, and this time I audibly gasped. "Vera!" I called out, but as the words left my lips, I knew I wasn't going to get any help from her. Vera put a hand on Sloane's shoulder and smiled wickedly. What was happening? Had I gone help from her? Vera put a hand on Sloane's shoulder and smiled wickedly. What was happening? Had I gone crazy? Was my lack of sleep making me hallucinate? Why would Sloane attack me like this, and how was Vera awake and somehow a part of it? I lay there in catatonic shock. "You know, I was quite impressed that you thought to power down the edge," Vera purred. "I thought you should know that." I stared at her in confusion. She didn't sound like herself. Her voice was similar, but the way she spoke, it wasn't like her. It would have been more helpful for you, at least, had you done it a few weeks ago, she continued. But it was a good strategy nonetheless. Again, I gaped. What was she talking about? Sloane laughed gleefully nonetheless. Again, I gaped. What was she talking about? Sloane laughed gleefully. Sloane, expecting the man you brought with you to be so brazen. That was on me. But look how it turned out. Better than if I would have done something then. A chill traveled down my spine. What she was saying, it couldn't be possible. How? Was the only word I could get out. Sloane, Cass, smiled and stood back up. It was simple, actually. Kenna regularly sent messages to the council, which made it simple for Bryn to find me. His address had never been removed from those group communications, and I just happened to be checking in. He gave you the code? I breathed. The formula? He taught you how to jump? Cass smiled. Now you're getting it. She reached out a hand and patted my cheek. What are you talking about? I asked through gritted teeth. We heard all about your little meeting, and we thought it would be a great opportunity for Strya to join, unannounced. My heart began to race. If she showed up and saw on the pen, I floated, moving slowly through something viscous. Water? Air? Whatever it was. Then it was suddenly over. No landing or slowing down. I was Nobody walked to and from their placement or the grid. Nobody headed to pick up their food portions or meet with a friend in the square. The utter stillness made me nervous, and I pushed myself faster. I swung the doors open and walked into the foyer of the auditorium. Dead silent. The auditorium surrounded the desk. She looked exactly as I remembered. Long blonde hair and a curvy figure hugged in all the right places by a red wrap dress. But this wasn't Cass in the real world. Everything outside and inside this building had seemed real until right this second. I'm here to give you a tour, she announced, then stopped in front of me. I've got so much to show you. It made the most sense to use a different site for real integration. That was Viviente's technology, and it wasn't promised to you in the event of our failure at the end of the contract. Cass somehow increased her pace. If my friends were in there, if they were still alive, then I gasped. My friends stood in agony, their hands clamped together and stood with their faces twisted in pain. Let them go! I dashed forward to Alec, the closest person to me. Channel. His voice was gravelly and weak. Oh. Why are they saying this? I choked out. Why do they think I'm the problem here? Cass chuckled lightly. You're definitely not a problem for us. I don't know I'm the problem here.